Guys, we'll start with the broadcast section with no embargo, followed by an embargoed section for 10:30 p.m. tonight. No live tweeting during the broadcast section, please, and use the microphone provided. Michael.
Hi, Ange.
Hey, Mark.
What's the team news ahead of the weekend? I'm sure there's bumps and bruises after Wednesday.
The boys worked hard the other night. I guess the main one out of that one is Mickey, and he has sort of strained a hamstring. It's not too serious, but probably after the international break for him. The other ones are kind of a bit sore, Romero and Werner, but at the moment, still a chance for the weekend, and Sonny's sort of trained today, so if he gets through training tomorrow, should be okay, and I think that's it.
He looked distraught when he came off, Mickey, but given the severity of his last hamstring last season, is it good news in a way that it doesn't sound that serious?
Yeah, look, I mean, he was disappointed, obviously. I mean, any time, and I think, he was really looking forward to the game, so, it was a bit emotional. But it's definitely not, sort of knock on wood, a bad one like last time, which kept him out for quite a while. So, he'll work hard, and like I said, good thing is we've got the international break in there. That's an extra 2 weeks for us, so hopefully it means he doesn't miss too much football.
It's a strong-looking League Cup quarter-final. It's all Premier League teams left. United, glamour quarter-final. Your reaction to the draw and to new manager Ruben Amorim's appointment?
Yeah, good draw in terms of, it's a home game, which I think, for all clubs is I guess welcome, because it's not going to be an easy game whoever you're playing. So having it at home is great for us. As you said, against a big club in United, so it'll be a really good fixture. But you expect that sort of quarter-final, semi-final stage of any competition. And Ollie just heard that Ruben's been appointed, so he'll have his feet firmly under the desk by then, and looking forward to meeting him.
Great night Wednesday for the fans. It's been some real highs, and there's been disappointing performances. Palace might be what you're most disappointed this season, but is that to be expected as this squad evolves over the last 15 months? Fans, should they expect the odd bad result, bad performance?
Look, I don't think it's. I keep saying this is not. Fans are fans. Fans. There isn't a fan around the world that doesn't want their team to always be playing well. So, what we have to do, as I said before the game and after the game, is just stay really focused on continuing to evolve into the team we want to be. And at the moment, we, in the league, we've had some disappointing results, but really only one disappointing performance, and that was the Palace game. wasn't a great performance, and we got what we deserved. But what we have to focus on is making sure that we continue to evolve, learn from that. When we have had sort of disappointments, we bounce back straight away, which I think is important. It's part of sort of the evolution of the team. But it's not going to be a smooth ride. But within that, we don't want to have too many times where we're not playing the kind of football we want to. I mean, that's always the benchmark for us. That's our measure, and Palace fell well short of that. Wednesday night was a lot better.
Hi, Ange. Just following on from that, it is 8 wins in your last 10 games. It is easy to dwell on the defeats, but do you feel that maybe you deserve a little bit more credit?
Alex, you get what you deserve, so I probably deserve it, whatever we're getting. No, look, like I said, I think it's fair enough depending on sort of your outlook. But whether it's deserved or not, as I said, I think, I try to make the point, criticism and scrutiny is healthy because it allows you to reflect on your beliefs and your convictions. Because if you are going to flinch at the first time people kind of are critical or kind of want you to change your path, then it probably means you're not really, definite about what you're doing. So it doesn't, like I said, it's not something that I think, we're copping too much criticism or unwanted criticism. In fact, if it is unwanted, even more that we shouldn't react to it. It's up to us how we behave in that kind of environment. Because I don't think that ever changes. I think even if we went on another fantastic run at the first sign of us maybe faltering. I think the same sort of questions we come, because it's kind of where we're at as a club at the moment. Until we have success, then I think that's always going to be the first thing the sort of people, come at us about as a club. And I think you've got to accept that. It's part of our journey and part of us becoming stronger and like I say, having real conviction in what we do. I've said it to the players, if you want to grow a beautiful garden, you've got to handle some fertiliser. So we're that's the only way it'll happen.
Have you got a beautiful garden at home?
I've got no idea about gardening. I read that somewhere.
On Aston Villa, then, they've gone from almost getting relegated to Champions League football in really such a short period of time. Just how good an appointment was Unai Emery?
Yeah, great appointment. But, it shouldn't surprise anyone. He was an outstanding manager before he got there. He'd done an outstanding job. And probably another sort of cautionary tale about writing people off, because when he was at Arsenal, people were quick to be dismissive of him. Whilst other people's memories faded, I think when you're a manager and you see other managers going through what he did, it's firmly imprinted in your mind. And just goes to show you, like I said, he was an outstanding manager before he got to Villa. I think they identified somebody who could come in and really bring their football club to the levels they want to, and he's done that. Since he's been there, and they continue to get stronger and challenge, and it'll be a good test for us. I mean, our games against them have been really good last year. We obviously won at their place and played really well, but I thought we played well at our place too. But they got on top of us. They obviously got ahead of us for the Champions League spot last year. So it's a great competition for us.
It's his birthday on Sunday. How hopeful are you that you can stop him celebrating with a win?
Miserable day for him, I hope. I guess I'm the oldest in the comp, mate, so I'm not going to mention birthdays. I'll let him go.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Hi, Ange, how are you?
I'm good.
Going back to the garden and the fertiliser analogy. The fertiliser used to be called being spursy, but I thought the other night actually you weren't spursy. 2-0 up and then concede a goal, but whereas previous Spurs sides might have actually lost that sometimes, yours didn't. So what have you instilled into the players this season to maybe make that word something we don't use so often?
Yeah, I don't know about that. I still think that's something that, that's what I was talking about before. I think people will always kind of, every time we have a stumble, are going to throw at us. And you have to, like I said, you have to accept that. Whether you believe you're not that anymore, you have to accept that until you can prove otherwise. I thought the other night was a really strong performance against, a pretty formidable side where, as I said, I think we had to show every aspect of our game. We had to defend well, which I thought we really did, because they didn't really create too many clear-cut opportunities against us, which against City, that's kind of your best possible case of keeping them out, because it's usually the volume of chances that kind of erodes your ability to keep them out. And I still thought we had quality the other way, where we created the best chances of the game. So had a little bit of everything, and it was an unbelievable physical effort from the lads. I mean, even the physical numbers we did after, the amount of running that the boys just had to do. But that's, I think, what you have to do against a team like City if you want to be successful. So there's a lot of positives for us, but again, I said that after the game, we're still the same team that performed poorly against Crystal Palace. Nothing changed in that 3 days apart from us addressing some aspects of our football to stay true to that. And if we don't veer from that, then we'll get to where we want to.
So how do you address then going forward the rest of this season, Spurs' inconsistency?
By just, like I said, being strong in the way we want to play our football, and we have been, apart from that Palace game where like I said, I felt we didn't, we didn't really address the challenge in front of us in the way we should. Every other game, I think we've done that. Yes, we lost at Newcastle, but I thought we played well that day. We lost to Brighton, and pretty evident that a poor second half cost us there. But the Palace game was one where we needed to do things close to what we do. So that's all we can do, just keep focusing on what's important to us.
And you and Villa are both on the same kind of trajectory. Last season, Villa finished fourth, which is perceived by most of this country as a trophy. I know, not by you, but in terms of some people see that as being a trophy.
Yeah, but there isn't a trophy though, is
No,
there?
it isn't a trophy. No, you're absolutely right. But Arsene Wenger's to blame for that, not me. But in terms of you're 3 rounds away now from winning the League Cup and winning your trophy, is that what you would prefer this year? A silver to 4th place?
No, I want it all. I want it all, mate. I want everything. And it sets me up for people to maybe ridicule me at the end of the year because I've said I want it all and I fall short of that. But I'll take the biggest bite I can, mate, and see what comes out of it. So we'll see. We'll go for everything.
Hi, Ange. Just wanted to check in on Wilson Odobert. Earlier in the week, you said it seemed like he'd had a serious setback. Is there any more information and a potential time?
No real time, but it's significant. So he'll be out for, again, because it's a reoccurrence, we're going to have to be a bit conservative. So I'd say sort of similar time frame to his last one, maybe a bit longer, but it's one of those where you don't want to put a time frame on it because it'll really depend on how quickly he kind of heals from it.
Just wanted to ask you about Dragusin as well. He's been at the club for nearly a year. What have you been impressed by, and what are maybe some of the areas that he needs to improve in?
Yeah, look, Roddy's been with us, 10 months now, and I think he's been great. You know, we kind of signed him because we saw some really strong attributes in him in terms of, you know, his defending capabilities, his mindset. Again, really sort of, you know, unique journey in that, you know, he had to fight hard to get to where he wanted to. So he had all those kind of things I look for. He's still young, and you know, he's working hard every day on his game, on all aspects of his game. You know, as defenders, defenders tend to get better with age, with experience, the good ones, and you know, with him and guys like Mickey and Destiny, you know. The reason we signed them at the age they did is that we really believe that in years to come they'll get stronger, and he's doing that every time, you know, he's out there. I think I can see improvement in him. He's really embracing the way we play. It's very different from kind of where he came from, you know, playing so aggressively with our line and defending one-on-one, but he's embracing that, he's enjoying that, and I thought he was great the other night. I thought not just in his football, but in terms of his presence and his demeanour, and you know, he took some leadership there. Obviously, you know, we lost 2 of our back 4 during the game, you know, with Mickey going down and then Kuti out. So, you know, him and he had Archie next to him, who's 18, and I thought he really stood up in that time just to make sure that with those disruptions, we kind of maintained our organisation. And, I thought he was really good the other night.
Finish your section with George, please.
Hi, Ange. This match last season, the home game with Villa, I think was the first time we saw Kulusevski as kind of the number 10 in that sort of number 8 role as well. Was that a good reference point for this season when you were thinking about pushing him into that? Because he was really good, wasn't he, I think, in that Aston Villa game last season? Yeah,
Some of it. I mean, it was a bit, you know, a little bit of just discovery, you know, just trying things. And, he always looked like he had the attributes that he could play inside, but unless you do that, you're not really sure. And as I said, I think as much as I wanted to play him out on the wing, the way we play I don't think it suited his personality more than anything else, because I kept saying, I think Decky loves to be involved in the game. You know, he loves to, like, his running capacity is ridiculous, and he wants to be involved all the time. And when you play wing in our sort of setup, there's a lot of times where the discipline of it is not being involved, you know, and I think he struggled with that as much as he was trying to. So, like I said, you know, it's through discovery that, you know, he's ended up in the area probably where he's most suited in our football, and he's growing enormously in that. You know, he's improving all the time. Like I said, I think he was disappointed with, you know, his performance at Palace as well, and again that's part of that journey of him kind of understanding why things didn't click at Palace, and he was back to his best on Wednesday night. Just, when you have that sort of running capacity and you add the quality that he has, it's a hell of a weapon, and it's one we can certainly benefit from.
And just funny for me, it was a really special atmosphere on Wednesday, and it feels like the sort of Tottenham Hotspur Stadium is turning into a fortress, and obviously your teams have always been associated with home wins. You come in with that record. How sort of pleased are you with the home form?
Yeah, it's been strong. It has to be. And the supporters play a big part in that. I thought they were brilliant on Wednesday night, and that's part of it, because if they can generate that energy in the stadium, the players certainly feed off it, and I think it makes oppositions uncomfortable, particularly with the way we play, because we want to be at the opposition all the time, and if the crowd's up as well, it gives the opposition that sense that they can never sort of get composed or recover. So it's a big part of it, and hopefully we continue to grow. Of course, we've got to give our supporters a reason to make that atmosphere, but I think when it's goes hand in hand like it did on Wednesday night, it's a great place to be, and it certainly can help us in terms of again becoming the football team we want to.
Okay, we'll end the broadcast section there. Move on to the embargo section at 10:30 p.m. tonight. Dom.